Who's the defense attorney?
I think it's Rolando Arguelles.
Norma,
Yeah.
if you can call him, tell him he needs to be here now. All right. Thank you so much for coming down. All right, are you all ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Espinoza Ramos, we're here for two things. The first thing is discovery update, and then there is supposed to be an update involving if this was going federal or not. So does anyone have any update on the federal issue?
As far as I'm aware, it wasn't going federal. No one's reached out or let us know.
I'm still here. So, and then doing several federal cases, my understanding is they are inundated with cases and are not looking for extra work. So I would be very surprised if they took this.
All right. So then the next thing is concerning discovery.
My understanding is that I had burned a bunch of the things onto a hard drive for Danielle. So that was my understanding. I had done that previously. If not,
I'll check on that. Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can we put this on the same date that Ms. Guerrero is coming back? Can we put this on the same date for discovery that she's already coming back?
October 10th.
All right. And is your client a citizen?
Who's not?
And Norma, we're going to need immigration on this as well.
Okay, I'll have.
All right. Is there anything else with regards to this case?
No, Your Honor.
no, Judge.
All right. Mr. Espinoza Ramos, do you have any questions?
No.
All right. Thank you. Is there anyone else here for an interpreter?
I am, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 10958D, State of Texas versus Hector Manuel Lopez Nahara. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Rolando Ruiz for the defense.
And are you Mr. Lopez Nahara?
Yes.
Mr. Nahara, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were these documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And counsel, do you speak the Spanish language?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you speak it fluently?
Yes, Your Honor. That was my first language.
Okay.
Yes.
And to the interpreter, if you could please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
And if you could state your name for the record.
Norma Nero.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, and I did.
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nahara, did you review what's entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of kidnapping.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Nahara, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand your charge, or at least the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of kidnapping? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes,
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent.
yes,
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
yes,
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is, Your Honor, or was.
Mr. Nahara, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
no,
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
Could you
No.
repeat the question, Your Honor?
Has anyone promised you anything other than your plea bargain agreement?
no,
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
yes,
Are you a U.S. citizen?
no,
Counsel, did you advise your client of the consequences of entering a plea in this cause number as it relates to any immigration consequences?
Yes, Your Honor, just for the court, so a Padilla letter was ordered 6 months ago. That should have been done.
And was it completed?
I believe it was, Judge. And I also did explain to him that he's probably going to be deported with this type of conviction on his record.
All right. Well, you know, according to case law, they no longer let you say probably.
He
So,
will be deported.
all right, Mr. Nahara, did you have a chance to speak with an immigration attorney regarding your plea in this case?
yes,
Did that attorney inform you of the possible consequences of entering a plea of guilty or no contest as it relates to your immigration status?
yes,
That those consequences include deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or the denial of naturalization?
yes,
Did you understand the consequences of entering a plea bargain agreement in this case as it relates to your immigration status?
yes,
And knowing those consequences, do you still wish to enter into a plea in this cause?
how?
Knowing the consequences, and when I say consequences, I mean your immigration consequences of entering a plea in this offense of kidnapping, do you still wish to continue with the plea?
Yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the document entitled plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes,
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of kidnapping. Punishments be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There are no applications. You are to admit that you acted as a party with Fraulein Guzman Velasquez, Eric Alexander Lopez Gonzalez, and Randy Lopez Benitez. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes,
And do you agree that in regards to this offense, you were acting in concert with Fraulein Guzman Velasquez, Eric Alexander Lopez Gonzalez, and Randy Lopez Benitez?
yes,
Do you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
state.
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Not at this moment, Judge.
Then to the offense of kidnapping, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
And no objections, Your Honor, for purposes of the plea.
All right, you may continue to confer. Mr. Nahara, did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court is reviewing the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty of kidnapping. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Johan Martinez Vela. The court finds that you've admitted to acting in concert with Froline Guzman Velasquez, Eric Alexander Lopez Gonzalez, and Randy Lopez Benitez. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. You're going to have to make better decisions. You're not allowed to re-enter the United States. Is he here legally or no?
No.
The other thing, we'll go back on the record. As a part of the plea bargain agreement, you are not allowed to enter the United States illegally. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'll let them continue to confer. All right, Anthony Lee Davis, are you all ready to proceed?
No, Judge.
We've reached an agreement that involves a reduction so that he can enter the mental health court at the misdemeanor level on his assault family's second case. However, they still need to screen him.
So why can't we hear this motion?
This will resolve the motion.
This would resolve it.
I've spoken with Michelle Star Salazar and Adrian Rodriguez and misdemeanor mental health court Judge Huff. They said that there is a mechanism to get him in here if we plead him to the assault misdemeanor. They do need 3 to 4 weeks to screen him. They said if we can, we're already in the process of doing it. It could be done as soon as next week. So
why can't we hear this motion?
well, this will resolve the motion. We'll extend him on the probation.
Well, I
if
mean,
he's
it'll only-
accepted into mental health court. If he's not accepted in the mental health court, then it kind of blows up our whole deal.
Well, it will only resolve the motion if I allow it to resolve the motion. So why can't we hear this now? Because what I have is a failure to report. So is there a reason why this can't go now?
And other than we have worked out the case with an agreement, Your Honor, it just, we can't proceed with that agreement.
You all want to discuss the? All right, what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, I have conferred with the state and they're asking me to ask for a reset on this case. They want to try to get a hold of.
And I can confirm with defense. We have spoken with the complainant.
All right, if you all confer.
And defense does not have all the discovery. There's significant discovery in this case. I've been through tons of it. Conferred with Mr. Garahan here. He assures me that it is actually there. I'm gonna have to re-download all the discovery to get these final little things that I need. And we're continuing to confer, Your Honor.
And I know there was the cell phone, John.
Those were required, those were obtained.
All right,
But there was additional things that, I guess, boilerplate, like GSR. I looked it up last night, it's there, autopsy reports for individuals, they're there, it's there. And then other additional information that I had informed Mr. Telly
My
on.
client's video statement to the police. I haven't seen that yet. I've read it, but I haven't seen it. So
okay.
we're gonna get that.
And I
taken
know
care of,
this
Your Honor.
is,
Mhm.
the file date says 2022, but Mr. DeLeon, I know you were not appointed to this case until March.
I'm actually hired on it, Your Honor, but.
Well,
it would've
appointed,
been-
March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
March, April.
So I will give you all 60 days to make sure all of the discovery is done. State, is that enough time?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe that we do have it there, I think it's just maybe a technological problem on both sides, maybe.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that glitch is fixed, if that's the problem.
All right, and in that 60 days, State, will you be prepared to make an offer?
Yes, in fact, I think that we've been discussing things, so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Oscar Martinez, can I have a 60-day reset for discovery? And on that day, I'll need a discovery acknowledgement.
Yes,
Do that one October 12th.
All right, October 12th.
thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes. And counsel, your client just left you. All right, so counsel, is there the possibility of your client making bond?
No, Your Honor, we had a bond reduction hearing before with the court and.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, just give him a reset date just in case.
There is a co-defendant on this case, and the attorney just arrived, and I'm confirming with her.
All right, who is that co-defendant?
Joshua Mejia.
All right, will that be the same time needed?
I don't know, I haven't really confirmed
Okay.
with it.
I'll let you all
But it
confer that.
probably will be, because she was asking for some certain things just now.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. DeLeon. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Who's here on John Sanchez? All right, so State, you're fine with him moving.
So, to be clear, that there was a motion to modify in front of Judge Nahara for him to have contact with his daughter. We were opposed to that. I'm still opposed to that, Your Honor. However, the judge did grant contact with her without any other conditions around it. So based on that, given that contact has already been allowed, I believe the motion is asking for a variance on curfew so he can move. And so,
All right, I'm going to have this motion referred to Judge Nahara to hear it.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Judge.
all right, and where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, we are getting closer. This case spans over into Atascosa, and the defense has requested materials related to another child that was not pursued in Atascosa. So I have gotten them police reports. There's another defendant's file that I have.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, you all are getting a 60-day reset for discovery. There will be no further discovery dates given.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and State, on that date, you need to be prepared to make an offer.
understood, Your Honor. Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Ferguson, what date on John Sanchez? Court is calling 2022 CR 1227, State of Texas versus Anthony Lee Davis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Travis Banks, the state of Texas.
Defense?
Kurt Hopke for the defense.
Are you Anthony Lee Davis? Showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Also showing you First Amendment motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Anthony Lee Davis who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 1227 for the offense of evading arrest detention with a vehicle on June 28, 2022 for a term of 7 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Anthony Lee Davis, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, September 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
Your Honor, the agreement proposed to the
No.
court,
The other allegations?
the state will waive and abandon the other allegation.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 7 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, the agreement submitted to the court is that the motion be denied and that the defendant be continued on probation, and that the conditions be altered and amended such that he have GPS on release and make evaluation while in custody and a pre-screening for the misdemeanor mental health court.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Davis, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? All right, the court will follow your agreement, deny the motion, alter the main conditions to include full GPS upon release, and whether or not it's going to be full continuously, you need to come back to the court on that. There's going to be a MIC evaluation and a pre-screening for misdemeanor mental health court, and that's to be done while he's in custody. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further from the state.
Not on this case, Judge, but he does still have a open assault case that is going to be the one that will be reduced to a misdemeanor, so that we can do the mental health court. I guess we can reset on that case.
Yes.
And deal with everything on that day.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give a 30-day reset on that case? And if he's back sooner than that, then you can come back sooner than that.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. What date, Ms. Ferguson?
August 31st.
All right, we'll come back on August 31st.
I can't do August 31st, Judge.
Why not?
I'll be in Houston. I
Doing
have
what?
A motion to adjudicate hearing there as well.
All right, you can appear by Zoom. That's what we do here.
Okay.
All right, we'll have you back on August 31st. Mr. Davis, it is very important that you remain in contact with probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You have the case number?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, where are we on discovery?
We received discovery, Judge.
And the other thing, he is not a citizen. That's what I have on this.
That is correct, Judge.
Has he spoken with the immigration attorney?
I'll double check on that. I know we've advised him, but I'll double check and see if there's been a third party.
All right, has an offer been tendered in this case?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Eric Gonzalez Lopez, reset this in 2 weeks for a plea deadline date. All right, we're coming back on August 21st. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer. After that time, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to appear plea open to the court. Do you understand? Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Who is the other person who needs an interpreter?
Fernando Espinosa Rodas, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, who?
Fernando Espinosa Rodas. And Froilan Guzman Velasquez.
Judge, it's two different defendants for Mr. Leal. They're both. It's two separate ag kidnapping cases,
Okay, and they're not out of the same occurrence.
not out of the same firm.
All right, so we'll start with, what is his name?
Froilan Guzman Velasquez.
All right. Is your client a citizen?
No,
Norma, on Mr. Guzman, we'll need an immigration attorney.
Okay.
All right, have you received all the discovery?
I expect to get the discovery this afternoon, Judge.
Judge, we previously tendered the discovery in this case to Mr. Liao.
All right, has an offer been tendered?
No, Judge, I haven't had a chance to talk with him about that.
All right, you need to discuss with them an offer. All right, are you going to do that today, counsel?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, this plea deadline date, put it also on August 21st. All right, and do not leave court without tendering the offer to your client. Is there anything else?
Not concerning this case, Judge.
All right. Sir, are you a citizen?
No.
Fair enough.
All right, Norma, we need an immigration attorney.
Judge, on this one, defense has provided us a hard drive, so we are going to be uploading discovery to that.
Okay. And have you tendered an offer?
Not yet, Judge. This is one of the cases where I haven't had time to examine this was as well as the other case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it for the same date, August 21st. And at that time, the state will tender an offer.
Thank you, Judge.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, where are we on this case and who is the prosecutor?
I'll start with Jason, Your Honor,
Yes.
and Brittany Mitchell.
All right, so where are we on this case?
So, his main violation and, is this new number one, possession 4 to 200 grams.
Mhm.
I've been reviewing it. I think we've. Okay, so, or I don't know if there's an agreement.
Well, you ought to want to talk again?
We haven't had a chance to discuss with my client yet.
Oh, no, I
Just
think,
got discovery on this page. I just looked the whole thing over.
okay.
Okay.
So you guys need to talk again?
Well, we need to talk.
All right.
Received APS and CPS records this morning, but I asked for 60 days to review them. We're in active negotiations with the state on a plea offer and potential counters.
Is that the all discovery?
It is, but I'm gonna have to go through and redact it. I believe it's all. I got it this morning. I don't have a computer with me to look it up, but I have no reason to doubt that it's what it says it is.
All right, and state, did you tender an offer?
We had one previous, but we
Yeah,
didn't talk about
there's-
today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, recall it for 45 days.
Thank you, Judge.
And there's going to be a quick turnaround on the plea agreement or
Sounds
plea
good.
deadline date.
Understood. So 45 days and we'll receive our plea date on that day, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Thanks, Judge.
All right, September 14th, once you sign that, you are excused.
Wait for me.
For a reset. Right now, we have no agreement. If the court would like to set it for contested, that's fine. But there is a new number one. However, I do anticipate that we are going to come to an agreement. It really is up to the court what to set it for. I just need some additional time. I just received the report on the new number one today, and I'm reviewing it.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can set this for a contested.
That's perfect, Judge.
All right, August 31st. Mr. Gobert, you were late. Next time you're late, things may end up going differently. You may end up in custody awaiting to hear your case. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's not to be any photography in the courtroom. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. They'll give you a reset form and we'll see you back on August 31st.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Martinez, my understanding is that we're still awaiting the psychological evaluation.
So the evaluation apparently was done like 2 days ago. We don't have the report. That's
All
what
right.
we're-
So Ms. Ferguson, recall this for 30 days. Deputy Laura, before you all start sending people back, could you remind the first chairs?
August, I wasn't approached.
Okay.
September 7th.
That's fine.
All right, we're going to come back on September 7th to see if the report is done. If the report is done sooner than that, they can always come back to the court sooner. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you all back on September 7th.
Thank you. Your
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sure. Court is calling 2022 CR 9994, State of Texas versus Curtis Odell Williams. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? And are you Mr. Williams?
No.
All right, your attorney is listed as Mr. Bach. Do you have any objections to this attorney standing in?
No, ma'am.
All right. You entered a plea on April 3rd, and We're here for sentencing. According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. Are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Williams, I appreciate you for showing up, knowing that you're going to be taken into custody. You'd be surprised how many people do not show up.
You took everything in me.
Oh, well, I'm glad the NU worked. All right, the court is finding you guilty as previously found by Judge Moore. I'm going to follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration night mag number 705915. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Your Honor. That I- that's one more time.
Sure. It is 705915.
No, I just wanted to let the court be aware that it was indicted. I have an indicted number, if you'd like to put that on the record.
All right, and what is the indicted number?
2023 CR 5249. Throwing out a dismissal.
You said 5249?
Yes, that's Your Honor.
All right, the court will take in consideration 2023 CR 5249, showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm 32.
All right, you're 32. Do not be the person at the prison who's the oldest person at the prison. I know you've heard me tell people that before, and people want to know how things are run here. And they say, ask the oldest person at the prison, and it's you, all right? All right, good luck to you. Where are we on this case?
Well, we have been in discussion state in the defense for several days, Judge. We thought that we would probably be able to resolve it in the way of a plea, but I don't think that that's going to happen at this.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date on Rogelio Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson. And are you all still proceeding on this as a capital murder?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
So I mean, it'd be a non-death capital, so just life without parole.
So there will be no need for a punishment. So this should be not as long because we don't have punishment. If you were found guilty. I always put the if in
I
there.
appreciate that. Give me
Mentally, I put the if in there.
encouragement.
And as many cases, Mr. Cox says, you and Mr. Garahan have, we're going to have to give you all new little notebooks because they start tearing up.
They do. Well, I think mine's running out in December, so I'm already using the notes. I mean, I don't think we have any open dates until January.
I heard you say no open dates until January, but
January, that'd be fine.
no, that's not a good time for the court. That's too far.
It's cool.
Well, not in Texas. Sometimes it's January and you still have summer weather. And Mr. Byers, I'm going to take you up next after I finish with this one case.
Thank you.
Mr. Cox, do you want a bench trial? I think the state would agree to a bench trial.
I think that.
All right, Charles Dickens, it needs to be yes or no.
We'll let 12, we'll go with the 12 judges.
Okay. All right, what date, Ms. Ferguson?
So
All right, I'll let you all discuss.
Yeah, you think it was just a few minutes.
All right, Byers. Can you unmute?
The state has been in contact with the complainant. I think she's kind of trying to decide what she wants to do in terms of proceeding. The state let her know that she could take a little bit of time to think about it. So the state would ask for a reset on this case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Justin Villarreal, set this for a contested in 10 days, please. All right. August 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that's your contested hearing date. Ms. Ferguson will have you sign the reset form. Once that's done, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Dion Mason. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 2229, State of Texas versus Dion Martise Mason. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Michael J. Sawyer for the defense.
Are you Dion Mason?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Dion Martise Mason who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 2229 for the offense of continuous violence against family on May 31st, 2022 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Your Honor, in violation of condition number 1, on or about the 5th day of July 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Dion Martise Mason, committed the offense of possession with the intent to deliver a controlled substance in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
Your Honor, at this time, we would waive the remaining violations.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, there is an agreement to enter an adjudication of guilt, revoke community supervision, and sentence 1 to 4 years. And additionally, there is a night mag case number 719678 relating to the offense that he pled true to that will be taken into consideration.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Mason, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will follow your agreement. Court will find you guilty. The court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, take in consideration 719618. And there's to be no contact with Aleigha, ALEIGHA, Bridges, BRIDGES. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor.
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. How old are you?
25.
Here's the thing. If you don't change your life around, you're going to find yourself for a majority of the time either in someone's prison or someone's jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do better. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, that's
Thank
all
you.
I have. I'm excused.
Yes, you may. Thank you so
Have a good day.
much. Coming in. I'm sorry you had to wait so long. I received notice from the defense attorney on this case has back surgery. We tried to get someone from managed assigned counsel to perhaps send someone else, but they're unable to do so. So I apologize for you for having to come down. We're going to have to reset it because even though I know what the agreement is, you know what the agreement is, and the state does, she still needs to have an attorney present. Otherwise, if I were to pass sentence today, it could always come back on appeal and we'd have to do all of this over again. So the attorney is telling us when will he be available?
Next Thursday.
All right, so We're gonna recall this for Thursday, the tenth. And if you want to, you can come down, or if you want to be by Zoom, I'll allow you to be by Zoom. So just let the court know. And we'll call it on the tenth. And Norma, on the tenth, not only I'm gonna want the attorney here, but I want someone from managed to sign counsel. So on the tenth, something is going to happen with this case. All right, do you have any questions about anything?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you so much.
Judge, just to let you know, that, I mean, he has come down at almost every setting, so I just want the court to be aware of that.
All right. So again, if you want to appear by Zoom, you can appear by Zoom, and I'll let you appear by Zoom, no matter who objects.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and I'm going to note on the docketing sheet that you've been here for every hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right, and what date did we give?
That was October 12th, Judge.
All right, so we're going to recall this back on October 12th. And did we recall that back for discovery?
Discovery purposes, and I believe you said that would be the last
Yes.
discovery, and I think that Mrs. Eckel and I have gotten that stuff
All right.
situated. You
We're
know, We're
working
on the path.
Okay.
Same path, same path.
All right. Norma, on Joshua Mejia, that's coming back on October 12th for discovery, and that's the last date for discovery.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Who's here on Roland Diaz?
Have a seat, sir.
All right, and where is Mr. Diaz?
Yes, my understanding was sent back, Your Honor.
Yes.
He has an MTR that was scheduled for today. He also has multiple aggravated robberies. We're working to try to put together a package deal for everything, Your Honor. The aggravated robberies, though, are new, so they need to be looked at more carefully by the state and myself in order to receive a informed, appropriate offer.
And
All right.
Judge,
Yes.
just inform the court, just so that you're aware, so it's 4 separate ag robbery cases that are all waiting indictment, all from different days. So it's just something that I just want to make sure to read all the reports and make sure we have all the information.
All right. So when is that going to happen?
If you give me just a little bit of time, it's really just reading the police reports and talk and reaching out to the complainants just to make sure.
All right, 30 days?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this robbery case, on Diaz, recall it for 30 days?
And I'm sorry, Judge, with a ongoing MTR as well. With
Yes,
a
that's the
companion
MTR.
Yes,
Because I
Judge.
don't have the other files since they haven't been indicted.
Exactly,
Sure.
Judge.
August 31st, Judge.
All right, we're coming back on August 31st. And counsel, spread the word. The rules in this court now, you need to be here before 10, because otherwise people will get sent back.
Oh, no, and I appreciate that, Your Honor. For the record, I was, but then started working on the offer and then ran to other courts and came back afterwards.
All right,
Thank
thank
Judge.
you.
Great.
Right.
Sorry, Judge. yes.
So, oh, no problem. Probation. On this case, this was the motion to revoke. And Mr. Brooks worked his magic.
Yes, Your Honor. So she's going to plead through to one of the violations so we can take care of the motion to revoke. And then we're gonna put in the paperwork possibly for a transfer to Maverick County and to release only to the facility that is going to pick her up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 2055W State of Texas versus Kiara Gomez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Will Brooks for the defendant, Ms. Gomez.
And are you Ms. Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Kiara Gomez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2055W for the offense of theft, 150,000 to 30,000 of a vehicle on March 9th, 2023 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 4, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Kiara Gomez, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of April 2023 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
We'll waive the remaining violations.
Any objections?
No objections to the waiver, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to the violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
There is not, Judge.
It's open, I mean, it's
Yeah.
quasi agreement, but it's open to the court, Your Honor. The state's just open to the court.
Okay. All right. Defense, what are you requesting?
Just a couple of things. Some background on Ms. Gomez, I think might help the court understand her. The nature of the underlying case itself was she took an ambulance for where she lives in Eagle Pass and was driving herself to treatment because she was using at that time, her drug of choice was methamphetamine. I believe that was January of this year.
31st.
She was granted probation by the court and she went to an inpatient recovery program. Is that right?
Yes, after being released.
After being released, she doesn't have any sort of ties to our community, Judge. She finished her time up there and then you said you.
I went back home.
Okay, she went back home to Eagle Pass at that time, Judge. She's not been on probation before, so this is new to her. But obviously a personal responsibility issue, Judge. She is Kickapoo, Judge. That's her community down there. I spoke with a gentleman named Raul. And he is a staff member at New Hope Healing Grounds.
I'm sorry, New Hope.
New Hope Healing Grounds, Judge.
Mhm.
And that is the treatment facility they have on the reservation where she lives, Judge. There are no inpatient facilities. I checked with both him. She's unable to access it through them because of her status right now. And then additionally, I reached out and spoke with the state representative for that area, which includes Maverick County. And because of the size of the county and lack of population, there's no specialty courts, there's no inpatient facilities. So this would seem to be the best option for her, Judge.
Mhm.
She does have, and Mr. Raul with New Hope Healing was able to verify that she has a place to live there, and her sister would be living with her on the reservation in the same place where the facility is located. So in other words, they're in the same community. And they are responsible for transportation to and from meetings and things of that nature. So they'll help her in that regard.
All right. So this is a transfer to Eagle Pass,
To Maverick County.
Maverick County. And this is still in Texas, correct?
Yes.
All right, then the court is going to deny the motion. And probation, are you in agreement with this? Thank you. Court is going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include a transfer to Maverick County. And also for her to receive treatment through New Hope Healing Grounds. You're to follow all recommendations and conditions of New Hope Healing Grounds. You're to provide a release to probation so they can be updated on your progress. And probation, is there anything else?
Your Honor, just until the transfer is complete, we would ask that she would report virtually.
Okay. All right, and you're to report by Zoom every 2 weeks until transfer. And are they going to be addressing prenatal issues with her as well?
I think, did you tell me your sister's in there? I think she's actually gonna have access to all the services through this, Judge, and on the reservation as well, yeah.
All right, so you're going to have to provide proof of the prenatal care to probation
And
as far as that you're getting that done and you're taking care of that.
that means my doctor visits, right?
Yes, your doctor visits.
And Judge, if I may,
Yes.
in speaking with the center, they're gonna arrange for her for transportation down there tomorrow. But if the court could order no release except to them.
Yes, I'm putting in there, I'm sorry, I probably didn't say it on the record, but she is to be released to an official from New Hope Healing Grounds only. Anything else?
Nothing further.
All right, we can go off the record. This is your chance. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Everything that you do, everything that you ingest, even my understanding, your emotional well-being, the babies pick up on that. So if you want your baby to be born healthy and have a great chance and I want to say, to come into this world, having great opportunities, it's going to have to start with you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And this court, probation, communication is key. If something is happening at the facility that you're being transferred and you feel as though they're not addressing issues, or you feel it isn't what you thought it was, instead of up and leaving, you need to contact probation. And then we can all address those issues by Zoom.
Yes, sir.
And if that were the case, I will even ask Mr. Brooks to be placed back on your case since he's aware of everything and aware of different programs that may be available. And I will tell you this, the fact that we were just here so recently and Mr. Brooks immediately got on top of everything and calling people from out of county, he did great work by doing that. Okay. All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Luis Gomez. All right, are you all ready to proceed on this?
Yes, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 1424, State of Texas versus Luis Angel Gomez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Joanne Eagle for Mr. Gomez.
Are you Mr. Gomez?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilty and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Luis Angel Gomez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1424 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on April 6, 2023 for a period of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 4th day of May, 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Luis Angel Gomez, did then and there admit to illegal use of a controlled substance, namely marijuana, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's to deny the motion, amend conditions to include SATIV and remain in the Bexar County Jail until bail is available.
All right. Is there anything that will preclude him from going to SATF? Any gang affiliation or anything of that nature?
None that I'm aware of, Judge.
Mr. Gomez?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Gomez, I saw that I had referred you to felony drug court. And you never appeared. You didn't show up for your screening. And then they tried all numbers. They tried your family and you didn't show up. Why? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Luis Gomez.
All right, why didn't you show up to your felony drug court appointments? They just tell the truth.
I just wasn't ready.
All right. So what have you been using other than marijuana?
Well,
Here's the thing, you need to be honest, because I'm trying to make a decision on whether or not I'm going to follow this agreement or whether or not I send you to prison.
just meth and heroin.
All right. So does everybody feel as though meth, heroin, and marijuana is going to be addressed with SATF? Or does it need to be something more intensive? Because he doesn't, and I mean this in the kindest of way. I remember you, Mr. Gomez, and you're looking different and not in a good way. So I'm trying to figure out, it looks like you've lost even more weight. I'm trying to figure out what would be the best to help you. Now I'm leaning towards inpatient treatment, but it's going to be inpatient treatment and then felony drug court, and hopefully a place will open up for him. So I'm just trying to see if SATF is a good place for him since it's marijuana, heroin and meth.
Your Honor, our SATA program is geared for alcohol and drug dependence.
Mhm.
We will do and we do have an aftercare program with that.
Okay.
The aftercare is 90 to 120 days.
Okay.
So they will follow him for an extended amount of time. The other option we have is Safe P, and that is also alcohol and drug dependence.
All right, this is what I'll do. If there's no objection from probation. I'll deny the motion, alter the amend conditions to include SATA. Follow with aftercare if not accepted into felony drug court.
The aftercare is
Well, no, I already know if he's accepted in a felony drug court, felony drug court is going to take him and have him do the aftercare. But I just want to make sure that felony drug court is a component.
Yes, Your Honor. So can we just add felony drug court?
Yes.
Just so that we make sure that he's in the aftercare program until accepted into felony drug court.
Yes. All right, Mr. Gomez, is there anything else you need?
No, ma'am.
All right, you're going to remain in custody until you're transferred to SATA, if you understand. You need to take advantage of that program because the drugs you're using, that's a deadly combination. Using any drugs is a deadly combination, but heroin, meth, and marijuana, that's a major problem. Do not be the person on the news where I get a report and they say, oh, we're terminating his probation because I get a deceased starter. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you need anything, we're here to help you. And this court communication is key. Make sure you stay in touch with probation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes.